mantra that I was singing in the song means bow to you. I bow to the Supreme Being, and I bow to the God within. I'm not used to this. Sorry about that. Being out on the earth with the Great Mother and all of her kingdoms is a great passion of mine. Daily time in nature is my meditation. It's my medication. It's my sanctuary. I truly believe that devotion and practice play a significant role in the rise of the new human consciousness and energy in my life and work, and also in the rise of a new humanity, a new genetics, and ancient to future remembrance activating in our world. We are the humans on the planet at this time remembering ourselves to a greater truth of existence and a greater awareness of the roles and service that we have come to step into. I truly believe that the new human and the Great Mother are destined to be the new religion. I was running trails early in the morning in the mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, where I've lived half of my life. And I had reached the top of my run where there is this large rock face that looks out onto forever. And just so for perspective, I'm sitting up on a rock and there's a valley below that the clouds are on top of. And I'm looking across at a mountain, a rim of mountains on the other side. And I'm as tall as a skyscraper. We have lots of those views in Asheville. And I will typically sit on that rock for about 10 minutes or so to just meditate and be with God before taking the trail back down. But on this particular morning, as I sat in stillness, a turkey vulture came into view. Massive wingspan, moving without effort, riding the thermals, these invisible fields of support. I was fascinated and drawn into this aerial display. It was almost as if it was putting on a show for me because it kept returning to where I sat, circling joyfully in an experience of life invisible to the naked eye. As I sat there, my mind really still, observing the experience before me, feeling the experience before me, I pivoted to you, to the message and the sharing in this space with you here today, and to what so much of existence and so many ages of prophecy seem to be pointing humanity toward. We've got to get out and breathe and be responsible to where our thermals are every day. Thermals, life force, the vibrational world is existence out of routine, out of the moment, out of shoulds and obligations and expectation. You free to commune with the beloved out of time and out of mind in the now moment. We must be aware of where energy is held stagnant, which is pretty much all of the 3D realm, lower vibrating dimensions. No matter where you are or who you are with conscious attunement, you can get out from under the energy, the consciousness spectrum of the matrix, and give yourself room, spaciousness to feel your center and be with your breath for even a minute or two. And then the field, this living, loving support, rushes in, and you are aligned with a higher wisdom, higher intelligence. We are in a time of radical, life-changing, life-transforming upgrades on both a personal level, but also as a collective, the whole of humanity. Your frequency, your light, your life force is your most valuable possession on this planet. Reality as we know it is dismantling because of the level of new light that is here now. All is in divine order, no exception. Living in that knowing is the peace that passeth all understanding. Every day, as the ego mind worries about an endless barrage of things and busies itself with even more, understanding how to parent your energy, how to take back the innate power that you have to be self-aware and co-create with other humans, with this planet, and with the unprecedented cosmic forces, divine light, a new world. That is why we are here. The new human remembrance, technology, consciousness, and energy is how. One of the most essential ingredients in shifting from everything that we have ever known as a species to something entirely new and very different is to begin consciously engaging with a new operating system. The way that we have built upon our history and navigated our evolution has been and continues to be very dependent on what has come before. We take a known concept and we make it better. We primarily grow humans on the foundation of whatever biology they are born into, and this is not wrong, and it's not bad or less than. It certainly reflects a paradigm of duality, a system of polarity, but it also limits the capacity of the soul to grow beyond, to expand into more than the ancestral, biological, and societal histories of a species. The new human is moving without thought into a new relationship with existence. Literally a new way of perceiving both the reality around you and yourself. This is not happening by will or intellectual ability. It is happening from the inside out. The rise, all this new, is being facilitated and fueled by an ancient to future technology activating in ourselves and supported by a very new cosmic and planetary frequency. Moving without thought means that we are, with the help of this new light frequency and a new reality now anchoring on the earth and into the earth grid, we're no longer trying to figure things out, which is so exhausting, but we are remembering how to use our feeling nature, which is the intelligent wisdom of our hearts. So we are moving from this to this. That is the current evolutionary shift. The reach, the ascending spiral, the rise into a new consciousness and energy, it's not intellectual. It is beyond the current capacity of our minds, the current function of our bodies, the current attachment to form. We cannot see nor manifest a new reality from our current collective consciousness. It is not possible to anchor an entirely new organic idea into form without embodying a new energy. If you build it, they will come. Is not a place, it is energy. It is a new frequency and power structure that is feminine, instinctual, intuitive, gnosis, love. This is a time when everything new is emerging, but the new cannot be accessed and embodied from the old. This is the primary reason so much of the known reality is collapsing. The known in our personal lives, the loss of jobs or income or relationships, health challenges, changing ideals, beliefs, and the known of our societal systems, the function of the outer world as we know it. We are divinely, organically, cosmically positioned to create an entirely new experience of what it means to be in form, to be human on planet Earth. This is so exciting. But the only way that that can be achieved is to step into the mystery of life. To trust existence first, and to get really comfortable with not knowing. This is a state of death to the ego. As I sat for a brief moment with the experience up on that rock face, so high and above, I found myself in a reverie with you, and then tuning into the turkey vulture, tuning into you, and in came this wisdom. Observe yourself in this now. Observe your life in this moment. This is what it means to become self-aware. How much of your life is a reflection of the herd, the masses, of what has always been? And how much of your life demonstrates the desire to be free? We don't just get to say, I want to be free. We must actively engage choices that reflect breaking off from the herd, from the masses, that drive, the doing, the manipulation of time and space and energy to suit our own needs. Anything that keeps us in separation rather than unity. Does this make sense? I mean, sense or visualize it. Even close your eyes and breathe in your own wisdom in vertical sustenance, right in through the crown, into the now moment. Breathe into the rise. Feel the energy of rise. We are moving from this containment of the lower chakras, safety, survival, control, a prison, really, of fear. Most especially the fear of death. As a species, humanity has been moving in a direction, moving with a rhythm primarily as a herd. something else, other, influencing our choices and decisions. And so we pretty much keep getting a different iteration of the same thing. Poverty, lack, hate, violence, more fear, more war, more coercion, manipulation, struggle, less and less freedom. But as I was reminded so beautifully on that morning on the rock, things exist in dimensional spaces. Try to show someone the view through the lens of your telescope, your perspective, and they just don't see it because they are looking through the lens of their own telescope. And what matters is to understand that there are many different perspectives of view and understanding available to us. There is more than one probable reality happening in each moment. We are experiencing the consciousness and energy that we currently live in. And it's not our job to manage and try and control everyone else's consciousness and energy, but to parent and expand and grow and evolve our own. That is how you change reality. Nothing is ever missing from our lives. Whatever we are witnessing, experiencing, feeling, is a reflection of how we are vibrating. No exception. To make the pivot, to move from known into nothingness, from the seen into the unseen realms, which are here, just like the thermals the turkey vulture was riding so joyfully, being carried effortlessly in front of me, using very little momentum to turn around and ride another thermal in the opposite direction that it seemed to know exactly where it was, an entirely different current. Again and again, just happy as it could be. It was playing. And every now and then, it was, after making this giant loop in front of me, it would stop and perch in a tree and just sit and rest, observe, and be. And then it would leap from the branch that it was on, leap into the thermal and do the whole thing again. From form into formlessness, from the known into the unknown. What a great teacher it was. You could just feel the sense of joy, not a care in the world. Primarily because the natural world and kingdoms have no ego mind. They do not follow thought. They follow energy. They trust existence. The Shining Ones have helped me to understand, and pretty early on, that metaphor is the language of the light. Metaphor bypasses the critical mind and allows a different perspective of how we view our experiences, personally and collectively. I use metaphor, which kind of sort of feels very similar to parables. I use metaphor a lot in lifting consciousness to another viewpoint of what is happening in the world and in our lives. There is always more than one thing happening in any given moment. Either we are interpreting the reality before us through our emotions and thoughts and story, or we are seeing it vibrationally, which changes everything. understanding that you are, first and foremost, energy living in a vibrational world. This allows you to see every moment and every experience through the understanding, the wisdom of love. The new human perception is the lens of unity. And then, no matter what the experience, there is no fear. Your divine role, your higher purpose within every facet of your life as you know it, becomes clear. The new human sees everything in this world of form as it is. No looking away, no denial, no rose-colored glasses, but equally so, the higher realm's reflection of each event and person. The new human perception is where the light is held in all things, in all persons, in all experiences, no exception. Everything must be brought into the new. All of our human concepts of how to function and be in the world, old to new, humans are becoming guided and activated to rewrite the systems of our world because we are the ones who have created those systems. Things seem to be coming undone, but not because the state of our world is any worse than it has been at any other time in our history, but because there is new light here, new transparency that is shining this brilliant illumination into the shadows and limitations and old beliefs that we have built up around us. Much of our history has been created unconsciously, building upon what was with a very programmed belief system. A program, we hear this concept spiritually and even in blockbuster movies. A program is an artificial construct inserted into collective consciousness, very subtly at first, by manipulation, by media, by external influences of control, until such a time that enough of the collective buys into it as reality. An awareness that really began growing inside of me as I became really earnest about understanding life, understanding truly this experience we call life, is that we, humanity, we do not belong to ourselves. We are obligated, and our lives are swept up by something outside of us. Belief, programming, fear, misunderstanding. How much of our thoughts that we think every single day are truly our thoughts? This was a huge revelation for me. We think we are making decisions, from the small daily decisions of what to wear, what to eat, when to wake up, when to go to bed, to the bigger decisions in our lives, who to marry. Do I go to college? What do I major in? What do I value? Where do I live? What do I invest in, and why? In the lower vibrating experience of reality as we know it, we really aren't mindfully making those life decisions. Our consciousness and our energy is how we vibrate and why. Once we truly understand that we are first and foremost consciousness and energy, frequency and light, then the understanding of the world, of everything as consciousness and energy becomes our compass, our power, our true north in navigating our experience here as new humans. When I first moved to Asheville, North Carolina, called there very mystically and in a way that required a lot of courage and a lot of letting go. I was young, I was not even on my spiritual path yet, but I was out on the earth one morning and glanced down at my bare feet on the green grass, and something magic happened. This current of beautiful, somewhat alarming at first, but this wave of energy went through me. It's like it came both from the earth and from the cosmos. And what I heard and felt so clearly, it might as well have been the voice of God echoing through my body and my mind and my heart. In that moment, I understood. It was like God, the whole universe, took my hand. In that moment, I understood that prior to that time in my life, perhaps many lifetimes, but prior to that moment, that I had been walking where there had been footsteps before. And that from that moment on, I must learn and remember how to walk where there are no footsteps, no visible foundation and perceived security. That I must go out beyond, go out ahead, walk without feet and fly without wings, and trust my future to the mystery that is God, that is love, that is oneness. The new human is a technology. It is an activated remembrance, cellular, within this species, that everything within so many realms and dimensions, cosmos, Earth Mother, crystals on this planet, the movement of the planets in our solar system, to the new dynamic of energy from our sun, solar and photon energy, plasma light, to the fact that at this very moment in time that y'all all chose to be on the planet, our entire existence as we know it is in the midst of a shift of ages, roughly a 2,000-year cycle from Pisces into Aquarius, from the consciousness of separation into the consciousness of unity. So many wondrous, light-encoded facets of life are participating in the wondrous transformation of a new human genetics, initiating the return of the Christ. The divine human union of Christos Sophia. That's Jesus and Mary. Whatever you or any human the world over believes about the man Jesus, Jeshua, Ascended Master Lord Sananda, he was consciousness and energy. Real or fabled, and I'm just allowing for all and any probability because the new human consciousness and energy is global and galactic. It is beyond any and all division. Whatever your belief about the Christ, he did not aspire to be famous or worshipped. He walked a living path of remembrance, of what it is to incarnate and have life on this planet. And I imagine at times he did not always love his journey, but he knew it was his to walk. He embraced his divinity. Love one another. All these things and more shall you do. Do not cling to me as something that you are not. Do not worship me as something somehow greater or different than you. I and my Father are one. My journey demonstrates the true nature of Source, of Father, Mother, God, of oneness and unity. Personally, I was raised in the Christian church, and yet, as a new human, my love for the Christ, this beautiful, simple man, Jesus, has nothing to do with what he has done or can do for me. I love this master unconditionally as me, living the highest principles of the light, of creation, love, peace, harmony, compassion, truth, forgiveness, eternal life. When this concept, new human, was given to me 20 years ago, it was a very intimate, sincere conversation between me and the beloved, between something so small, tiny human, and my love for the Christ, which became something so vast and infinite and unknowable. This moment was heart generated. It vibrated above thought. And not coincidentally, I was out on the earth. At that time, 2004-ish, no one was talking about the new human. Now many are. Why is that? Why and how did David find DeAnne? It's because of a level of light frequency that is here now. It is because as an awareness is planted into the morphogenic field, this living, breathing field of light around our planet, that seed will grow in its time. And this most definitely is the time of the new human. There is a lot of distraction happening in our current world. Practicing divine neutrality, the power to view anything outside of you without reaction, closing your eyes, breathing through your heart, lifting your consciousness to the heavens. This is the new human template. This is the vertical dispensation. If you notice, our bodies are the shape of a cross. Jesus would have such compassion for this current humanity. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Clearly, the human spirit has lost its way. But of course, it's all perfect. Breathe into every moment that you are awake in the day. Breathe the joy and gratitude of what you are remembering, because the further that we fall, the higher the love we return to, and the more light we accrue as souls. It is easy to love what is lovable and fits into your belief system. It is easy to forgive the forgivable, but to hold your Christed nature, be still and know that I am God. Either God is in everything or God is in nothing at all. The new earth is being birthed from within. The new human is being birthed from within. All in response to a new sun, which kind of tickles me because it can be S-U-N. Our sun is, we're facing a different frequency of light because our planet has shifted, but it's also a new sun, S-O-N, which is us. This awareness kind of takes my breath away. The new sun is in our cosmos, and it is inside of you, birthing the Christed human from crystalline DNA. Evolution is about growth and moving forward, and we cannot do that with thoughts, beliefs, conditioning, and programming tethering us to the past. The way forward into a new day and a very new future for this humanity and planet begins in a heart-generated reality. We are not stressing. We are not resisting. Then there is no other. There is no separation. There's no judgment, no fear, only love and the desire to give back, to make a return for the gift of being here now. The new day is a new beginning. It's a fresh start. It's a clean slate moving forward. New minds free from thought, new bodies, cellular rejuvenation, new hearts, everything generated through that inner stargate. Then it's not possible to see other. It is not possible to worry and allow our energy to be compromised by what still vibrates in the past. The shift to a 5D, higher vibrating planet is the embodiment of heaven on earth. As above, so below begins within. As a soul, you had a metaphoric hand raised as high as it would go and ran to the front of the line, anticipating being here in this exact moment. Remembering that is your superpower. Every day, there is a presence within us all saying, fly free, dear human. Be brave and courageous in your endeavors to remember and wake up and know thyself. Because each of us that does so for an entire species. For we are one.